We will present the introduction part on this project. The title of this project is the strain of reinforcement bar with different type of water and time. On this part, I will explain about three things, which is what is a reinforcement bar, the function of reinforcement bar, and how the reinforcement bar help in construction. First, what is a reinforcement bar? A reinforcement bar, also known as a rebar, is a medium that holds up the concrete in the construction by establishing a great bedding with the concrete. Second, the function of reinforcement bar. The reinforcement bar will sustain the heavy construction with and prevent it from falling or cracking as a support the structure of the building. Third, how the reinforcement bar help the construction. The strain in the concrete structure is provided by the reinforcement bar, which result in the safe and strong building. It is used as heavy concrete, but it bond well with concrete. But the bonding may be depend on the shape or structure of the reinforcement bar. I will explain about the problem statement. In producing a building that consists of several structures, reinforcement bars are an important material in structure. A reinforcement bar is needed for building construction because it is used as a tension device and reinforce concrete and reinforce masonry structure to strengthen and aid the concrete under tension. Lately, our country has been hit by quite severe flood following the monsoon season. Many houses in Malaysia have been flooded for a long time. As we know, some buildings are built without considering the impact of being submerged in the water. Reinforcement bar is the material that easily rusts when exposed to water, and this greatly affects the strength of a building structure. With presence of a rush on the iron can change the safety factor of the structure and building. Next, for objective, the project's overall aim is to look into the strength of the reinforcement bar after much testing based on the reality of the flood that happened in Malaysia, especially on the residential area. As a result, the aim in this study are as follows. First, to study on size reinforcement bar in beam and column that been used in residential construction. Second, to study the corrosion effect on reinforcement bar on various type of water and time. Lastly, to determine the tensile strength of the reinforcement bar. Next, the scope of project. This study will be investigate the effect on the reinforcement bar subject to different type of water and time. The causal effect and tensile strength of the reinforcement bar will also be covered in the current study. A few actions are taken to make the research objective accomplished, such as the use of three types of water, which is rainwater, tide water, and river water. The size of the reinforcing bar that we'll use is 10 mm, 12 mm, 16 mm, and the length that will be used is 200 mm, that refer from the standard length of Universal Testing Machine (UTM). The focus of this study is on the residential construction, so the diameter of reinforcement bar that be used based on the usual the diameter that being used on residential construction. Significance of project. The idea of this project is from Malaysia, which is often hit by flood. still less in terms of the impact on the building structure as a result of flooding or the effect of being submerged. Among the important material of a house structure is depend on the reinforcing steel used. When designing a building, reinforcing steel is used for tensile strength. The size of reinforcing steel commonly used will be subject to tensile and bending tests to determine the strength of the cohesion effect present. The type of water and the time difference have also been set to adjust to the condition will flood.
Now I'll present the literature review of this research. First, the reinforcement. There are 4 types of reinforcement that are stated in this part. First one is hot roll, second one is mud, the third one is cold work, the fourth one is pre-stressing. Next is corrosion in steel. There are 2 types of corrosion and 4 types of corrosion detection method are stated in this part. First corrosion is surface corrosion. Next is pitting corrosion. The first corrosion detection method is electrochemical based. Next is physical based. The third is acoustic emission, and the fourth is optic fiber sensing. Literature review of the research also include grade steel reinforcement and size of the reinforcement. 2 types of rebar also described precisely in this research literature review. First one is austenitic stainless steel, and the second one is duplex stainless steel. The last part of this literature review is mechanical testing that elaborate tensile testing. Tensile testing is used in the research to identify the tensile strength of the reinforcement bar after subjected to different type of water and time.
Next, I will continue with methodology. For this methodology, it have 4 phases that make the objective successful. Firstly, material preparation and characteristic of material. The reinforcement bar that will be used for testing must follow the ESTM A370 standard specification. The water that being used are tap water, river water and rainwater. In phase 2, the sample production mean how long reinforcement bar immersion in the 3 types of water. The duration for immersion were 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks and 2 months and 3 months. Next, in phase 3, the main testing for this research is tensile strength testing using UTM machine at UTHM Pago. For level of corrosion, we measure the diameter of bar after immersion and compare with the control sample. Lastly, for phase 4, which is data analysis, we conclude the result of diameter and tensile strength test of bar by using table, and we make a graph to see the comparison between immersion bar and control sample. In next slide, all panel can see the video of producing the tensile strength testing.
Tensile strength testing procedure.
Next, I will continue with result and discussion. Firstly, I will show you the result that we get from diameter of bar. They have 3 graphs that from 3 different diameter of bar, which is 10 mm, 12 mm and 16 mm. Based on these three graphs, what we can conclude is that the reading value decrease start from immersion in week 1 until 3 months that we can compare with the diameter of control sample. This is due to the event that occurs when metal atoms encounter water. It releases electrons to oxygen molecules and forms positive metal ions. Another factor that can conclude from the graph is the rusting process occurs faster when the reinforcement bar reacts with rainwater compared to tap water due to the solubility of the electrolytes in the water will accelerate the rusting process. Next, I will show you the result of tensile strength testing. This result also have three graphs that represent of three diameter of bar, and the reading value of immersion bar sample show downward trend from control sample because the control sample tensile strength value was higher than the immersion sample. They have two factors that we can conclude for tensile strength, which is firstly because of the amount of water absorption in the steel reinforcement for 1 week is less, so that we can see the value of tensile strength for duration 1 week less than other duration. Another factor is the water content between tap water, river water, and rainwater. Based on what we see, the rainwater give more impact on tensile strength rather than other types of water. This is because the content in the rainwater such as acid that can make the reinforcement bar be weak on tensile strength.
Next, I will explain about the conclusion part on this project. The complete study will analyze and summary in this chapter to create a summary of the research finding. The study focused on the strength of reinforcement bar that have gone through the immersion process with three types of water in correct period of time. The projects that have been achieved are the effect of corrosion on reinforcing bar over different type of water and time, and to determine the tensile strength of reinforcement bar. The method used in this study is tensile test on reinforcement bar and the corrosion effect of the reinforcement bar. To compare the tensile strength and degree of corrosion of each steel, it was also compared to the control sample, which retained its original strength, and a new sample of steel reinforcement bar that have been immersed in tide water, river water, and rainwater. Based on the observation, can conclude that bar reinforcement have advantage and disadvantage when used in building structure in our industry.